Hello friends, in this episode we are going to discuss the very crucial aspect of filmmaking, that is the relationship and understanding between director and the actor. A perfect understanding between director and actor is very crucial to making a good film. This relationship between the two is not that of friendship necessarily. The relationship is more on professional level, having regard for each other and acceptance of each other's talents, responsibilities, sensibilities, and the position in the process of filmmaking. If the director and the actor have already worked in some project earlier, then it's very helpful in the filmmaking process. Even if not, there has to be an unwritten understanding between the two to have due regard for each other and work perfectly as a team with full cooperation to achieve the common objective of making a great film. A film that is done aesthetically, a beautiful film to watch, and a film that is commercially viable from the producer's point of view. The role of director in relation to the actor to create that perfect understanding with the actor is based on certain aspects and certain responsibilities. The first one and the most important is that the director should explain the character to the actor in all its dimensions. All the characteristics of the character, which may be apparent or which may be underneath in what is apparent, have to be explained by the director. The characteristics are, for example, his social and economic background, family background, family relationships, the support system he has received, because all this play a very important role in creating the right attitudes and outlook in the minds of the actor. He should explain the educational background, the company he enjoys, the tastes he has, the goal he has in his life. And besides this, there are other aspects like whether he's a romantic person or a matter-of-fact person, a daring person or a timid person, a person full of ambitions or a person with an easygoing approach and whatever happens, let it be. A person with strong physical courage or a person with less of it or none of it. So all his talents and attitudes ought to be explained by the director to the actor. The second aspect is the apparent characteristics. Apparent characteristics are those which come into play during the story of the film. Not all the background and characteristics will come into play. They will form the core of the personality of the character, but some of the aspects or some of the characteristics may be more prominent or visible to the audience in his role in the film. Say, for a patriotic film, it will need a very strong feeling of love for the nation, love for his people. It will require a attribute of courage, leadership qualities, inspiration to others, a determination to do whatever is required in service of the nation. So these are the characteristics which are apparent in the film out of the total characteristics of the character. So that it is director responsibilities to create understanding of all the characteristics of the character to the actor, so that he can do full justice with the character and play it the natural way, the way the character has been explained. Second point is, the director has to be aware and sensitive to the actor's acting style. There are 4 or 5 acting styles, and each actor adopts one or a few features of the other in his preferred way of acting. Basically, acting is same, but it is in some respect that these features differ from each other. For example, in the presentational style of acting, say on the stage, the actor will acknowledge the presence of audience in the theatre in one way or the other. It may be through eye contact, maybe some question posed before the audience, or maybe some gesture. So the actor very subtly acknowledges to the audience that he is aware of the presence of audience there. In the representational style of acting, the actor does not at all interact with audience in any manner, and does not acknowledge presence of the audience at all. He acts in a way as if he is totally oblivious of the presence of audience in the hall. There is a proverbial fourth curtain, an imaginary curtain between audience and the actor, which separates the two. The third or the another style is classical way of acting. In the classical acting style, the acting is more based on technique. If an emotion of sadness or anger or anything is to be expressed, it is not that much dependent on creating those feelings, but it is based on technique, manipulating the voice, the facial expression, etc., to convey all this without getting deep into the emotional status of the character. So it is more technique based. Another type of actors are method actors. Method acting means going deep into the character. If there is a very emotional scene, say of sadness, the actor, in the case of method actors, will go deep into the emotional state of the character and try to fully feel it as if it is their own emotion. And in this process, it may take some time for him to go into the character or go into the emotional stage of the character. And in the same way, after the shot is over, it may take some time for the actor to come out of that state, emotional state, into being normal on the set. So the director has to be very patient with such actors, understanding fully that these are sensitivity based, or these are the actors who may take time, their own time, to go into the character and come back. If the director thus understands the actor's style, the things become much easier in appreciating their contribution, in enhancing their contribution towards making a good film. The third aspect is of more practical nature. As per this aspect, during the entire process of the filmmaking, right from rehearsal to the shooting on the set, the director must address every actor with the name of character that has been assigned to them. That way, it becomes easier for the actor to identify with the character in the presence of director and other actors around. It is very professional requirement and very helpful. Therefore, that director must address the actor by the name of character that has been allotted to him. All the instructions from the director or the production side to the actor must be very explicit and to the point, so that there is no confusion at all, or a possibility of interpreting it in a different way. Another practical requirement that the director or the production team has to ensure that the actors feel relaxed and comfortable, and they are provided lunch, tea, etc. At the appointed time. If that is not done, the tiredness or fatigue may take over moods of the actors, and they may not be able to give their best. Sometimes the directors are anxious to complete the work as early as possible, but no. If it is lunchtime, it is lunchtime. Let them feel recharged and then restart the process.